What's up, guys? Market's bleeding out today. I've been dropping lots of comments in the groups and Twitter and whatnot. Everybody's, you can tell at this point that everybody's pretty surprised that the support didn't hold out at this about 8,500, 8,000 level. We can kind of see it coming. People in the groups have been aware, at least from what I've said, or probably their own impressions as well as they're watching this unfold. Bitcoin's not doing so hot. I've watched it break through each of the different support levels, and we sunk through 8,000 and even broke the 7,500 level today. I actually watched it happen live on BitMEX, and basically the day traders are just being more profitable on the short side, and there's not enough money coming in to buttress and create the support that we need to advance the market right now. There's been a few news releases. I know someone had given me the link yesterday about the huge crackdown. They're going to start cracking down on scam ICOs, and in that article there was actually, they were quoting that up to 80% of ICOs had some level of scamminess involved in them. And I think that on the outside of crypto, when they're looking in, it's not, I mean, it's a high number. It's not unfair when you see where they're coming from. They're coming from a business world where everything is forcefully secured by laws and regulations. You know, to them, the crypto industry is truly the Wild West, as everyone says, but it's the dangerous Wild West to them. And when the investigators start wading through the market and deciding who to start punishing for doing things like raising $1 million, $5 million, $10 million for an ICO, and not pretty much letting time pass, 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 months with no real progress report of any kind, no real updates of any kind. To them, that's a scam. And we see that with cryptos, even some cryptos that people still believe in because maybe insiders kind of know the people or whatnot. Some of them might have kind of delayed progress reports and delayed developments, or they're developers and not marketers, and they just kind of are avoiding the spotlight. They're not doing the constant update thing like I'm doing here. My whole purpose with these projects is to be in touch with you guys and whatnot. Well, that's the level of awareness for that project. But when you're a pure coder and you're working on things, sometimes different mentalities don't want to cross those gaps. And some people stay real quiet. They're very introverted, and they don't know how the money markets work. They don't know how to release timed news events to improve their chart performance. And in such a case, basically any kind of crackdown on scams or regulations are going to involve regulatory agencies and law agencies wanting to talk to people in that position. And that includes, like I'm saying, good crypto that is under the radar and quiet, but it also includes all the bad crypto. And if for law agencies of any kind, their whole mindset is to get in there and to look around, especially when people don't really want that. So the quieter and more sheltered they are, the harder the law will knock on their door, and the more they'll squeeze themselves in and find the answers they want. So as we see news releases like that, we know that, if you look at crypto as a whole big stack, the real good stuff up here, the medium stuff here, and the bad stuff here, well, those guys are going to go for the ones that are actively scamming right now, and then they're going to go for the biggest, historic scams and start trying to get them. And then it's going to slowly work its way up. And then along that way, there's going to start being lawsuits involved. And as those lawsuits are given court decisions, that will create a precedent. And then the precedent will, in fact, establish law. And then the law will be the platform from which regulations will grow from. And this is going to be a theme happening in crypto for the next year or two, especially. And it is a downward pressure. Now, as of yesterday and seeing that article the first time, I was thinking, this to me was inevitable. I knew this was going to happen, so I didn't really catch it as a shock. What I did start to see is the market's toppling, and it's like, man, uh, it is going to have an effect. We have so much good positive news, but you've got to give weight to the very poignant negative news as well. And I think I might have underweighted that a little bit yesterday, and today I'd like to weight it a little higher, as in put more weight on it. And we got to keep a closer eye on these investigations and how these track along. As for the play on the charts itself, was it tied to that news release? Not necessarily. Really, we're testing these pressure zones. We're testing these support levels and these resistance levels pretty much religiously down the entire way here. And for Bitcoin, our biggest support level is 7,000 to 6,500 range, hopefully above that. For the global charts, this is the global, this is everything else. Our support levels are 250 billion, right about there. It pierced through there, but we got a double touch here, and that gives us our support here. And as you can see here, we're cruising down. It's cruising down at this point. We were hoping here to catch our double support off of that support, and when that breaks down, that's the same sort of cue I took here when I knew the market was going to crash, and it's the same pressure point right there. It literally has broken the market down. And see, I don't want to zoom in too much that we lose the detail, but I'm going to go ahead and zoom in more. Zoom in a little bit more there. As you see, that's a big wing. It's a big one to shoot down in such a quick zone. That's a very, vertical drop, and it does bring us to this support level globally, 326, right about the 330 range. And we've got a nice range of support here. As you can see, if I zoom out, support here, not really there, but it's a cross beam of support. Technically, TA speaking, which TA is not intended to be an exact science. What it is it's a game of like reflections and reflexes by which day traders and market makers will alter the course of the market. So we know there's going to be pressure here, and that's why the down drop doesn't just keep going. There's support here, and people who trade by TA, primarily day traders, they recognize support levels. They always have some effect. And everybody's watching as this fall nears that support level. And if we break through that one, then it will probably go straight to the 7,000 Bitcoin level, which puts us here globally. Now that would be a pretty big drop because this is the global market. Altcoins have dropped substantially, as I know all of you know. I mean, this is officially the pain train when we've got, it started to resettle back up, but we were down into the deep double digits, 15, almost 20% losses on most of the board, and it's kind of eased back up again. And this is that moment where it's like the people who feel the most desperate about this, and they just want out. They just are like sick to the stomach for whatever reason, and they want out. Well, they might sell here, and it could snap back up. And that's the thing. We're in a unique situation here regarding the last few months, just as we were here. This was very critical. I was talking about this point. This was where we would carry through with a bullward motion. And as we started breaking down, it's like, man, we're not going to be in a bull market. We're going to another bear session, and this one's not looking good. Can the market catch her and start running bull? From a random investor's perspective, it's a coin flip, but everything's kind of pointing to we might ease down. You know, we might have a pop day, and it could uh, simmer here for a little bit, but there's so much weakness pressing down on it that we might end up, we might be able to say it's like an 80% chance we're going to hit this support level, even though it could always go either way. That's why I always leave an open mind, and we always watch the market as it unfolds. A lot of very experienced investors, one of the things they do is they hedge their bets. That means you have all your long positions, and then when the market starts looking really bad, they'll do a big short position on someplace like BitMEX or Polynex. You can do shorts and kind of reverse the damage so they don't have to sell their alts. To each their own. I know some of you guys are also just long-term holders. I mean, this is painful to watch for holders, and they just endure it and they just wait for it. And I'm scanning through the comments everywhere today because I just want to, kind of be in that atmosphere with everybody where, how's everybody doing? How's everybody feeling? I mean, we're being scolded by day traders. This is high leverage day trader activity. They're making a boatload whichever way the market goes. And a spurt like this, I mean, they were just waiting for this to fail and spurt low, and they make a boatload off of that. And that's what's causing the bear market to keep squeezing down. Let's see here. Where are we going? Pretty much everything's getting beat up. A lot of the altcoins that we've been talking about in Moonbase, they're hit just as hard. We did have the other day, everything went red except for 4 of Moonbase's choices, which was awesome. That was ZIL. I don't even remember. ZIL, Cyber Miles had a nice pop. Anyways, all 4 of them drop back with everything else, which that's going to happen. I mean, you have to make your calls based on the market's material, what it presents, and it can only go so far. You have to change your positions to meet the market if that's what you're doing. And Moonbase is kind of targeting short-term to medium-term prospects mostly. We're starting to cover all sorts of other things like ICOs, long-term picks with price projections, and rather market cap projections, and then even some long shots. And that's a good range for any trader to be aware of. But I myself, wherever I am, I'm always speaking about market awareness. You have to have market awareness, and that means being able to, well, if you're not into this already, but establishing a vision on the current active state of the market, and that's requires kind of developing understanding of what the day traders are doing, if not taking part in that yourself to learn or to do it yourself. Day trading isn't for everybody. I'll explain that later, but it's awareness of that will help lead to better decisions on what to pick for your medium and long-term choices, and also how to steer in and out of those choices, when to pause and maybe park and tether, or when to hold on and grit it through. I mean, a lot of times the market drops. Bitcoin will drop 2 to 3%, and all the alts go 14, 15% down. It's not a pretty situation because alts by nature are high leverage compared to the driver, which is Bitcoin itself. So you're already in a leveraged position just by having alts. So making choices quickly can be tough because you can already be down 10, 20% by the time the market has even indicated that Bitcoin's going to go down. And it's just the way it is. And it's why someone like myself, even, it's like I'm looking at red on some of mine, and I need to be watchful about everything. But the action of the leverage of all coins is just that fast. You have to decide when to let go and when to hold on. And everybody's going to take some blood here and there. You can be right frequently, but to do that, you're going to have to be staring at the BitMEX day trader chart with the day traders, and you can know moment to moment almost exactly what's going to go on as you feel the pressures break down and as you feel the support get built up. But Who's got that kind of time? I tell you what, staring at those day trading charts was something I thought would be awesome long ago, and even doing it again, after about an hour, your eyeballs can just start to feel like they're just going to fall right out of your head, or you just want to go do something else. Anything but stare at a little micro candle. Just do this, every minute of the day. So most of us are in a state of doing medium term, maybe short term, few day, week-long trades, or trying to roll those into long-term holds. And that's the state of affairs for most of us. Let's see, anything we need to look at here? Skycoin just got listed on Binance today. Anybody caught that post I did earlier? It was 13%. If you would have got in, you could have dumped your whole portfolio in there and made 25% today. I wish I would have thought of that, but man, I was busy today. I didn't have time for that. So I actually took a little bit of red today. The truth is when I look at these charts today, I just think all I want to do is not endure any more red right now, and that might be the best call. But to each their own. You have to make your own decisions. You have to see where the market's going to go. You have to play like that. I think there's a high possibility we're going to test this level here. But the truth is, and I feel it in my bones, we're dealing with BitMEX traders doing super high leverages, and they are just, there's too many bad words to describe it. They're making money moment to moment, and they're the ones harassing the market. I pretty much can guarantee it. We're just at too vulnerable of a state. And really, here's the deal. When you look at the global, it really takes a lot of money to move the market at this point. It's just like when we look at individual cryptos. As we get up high on the list, cryptos like EOS, Ethereum. Ethereum's a great example. Ethereum's at 59 billion. Well, for that to double in price, you need to see trades that equal another $60 billion. Well, the market is big now. Market caps are high. So to get any kind of doubling whatsoever requires a ton of money. And if the money's not there to do that, or if that money is diversified and pitted against itself in short and long positions, well, we get the chop. We're getting that volatility I'm always talking about ever since the crash began. The thing is the fact that cryptos move 10% up or down, the bandwidth is so big that it is very profitable to be a day trader in the crypto market right now. There's enticement to stay in a bandwidth that moves back and forth. They're making money every direction, and long-term holders are just getting caught up into that tidal wave. It's just how it is. Anyways, that's all I want to say today, guys. No reason to cover long positions now. Check out the groups. I've got a couple good coins pointed out for when we do hit bull run someday. May bull run did not happen as many were proclaiming. As I always said, we don't know until we know. We got to watch the charts. We got to see how the market feels. All right, guys. Good luck to you. Hope you make good decisions on the way up or down. Talk to you next time. Peace.